No, because if you had told me that we could just get rid of them, I would just be an unrecognizably different person.
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So this video, I find this video very interesting. I saw this video, I'm like, oh my god, like I was literally like, so this video is a video of people talking about South Korea women. So I got to find out with people's teachers, we're going to hear soon, but South Korea women are on strike and they are like saying, you know what, no to men, no to kids, no to marriage, no to dating. And I find this really interesting because we, especially a lot of the women here on my platform, where we have amazing conversation. We're really talking about how marriage serves us women, how dating, and we're beginning to see how it's really hard navigating through life, especially as a woman, where a lot of responsibility is put on us to rear children, to get married, and put a lot of our values in those things. And eventually, some of us, or some people, some women are finding out that these things don't serve us to make us better people, like having kids. We end up doing most of the bulk of the work. The institution of marriage always like doesn't benefit us women, not all women though, but doesn't benefit us if we look at the institution. And even dating now is like terrible, and having kids and all that. So I just find this video, people talking about this, really interesting, and to think that this is actually a thing and that Korean women, they are ahead of their time and they are like, no, what, we ain't doing all this. We're going to look after ourselves. Anyway, guys, let's get your people's thoughts and people's breakdown on this. Then we'll come back and talk.
Now, this might be something we can work with. So apparently in South Korea, women are doing a full-blown birth and relationship strike to combat misogyny and other structural issues in their society. Enough that it's actually statistically affecting birth rates and causing the government to talk about changing policies. Methinks we have an idea. Now, in my opinion, this has already begun in the United States, with so many women just saying, it's not worth it, I'm gonna just be by myself, because of the rampant misogyny and sexism within our society. And we've already seen some examples of how men take it, which is hilarious, because in the same breath, men will tell us that we would never survive without them, we couldn't live without them. And then when we do just that, and the studies show that we're actually happier and live longer without them, ooh, they do not like it. They get very upset. Because the truth is that it's men that can't do it alone. It's men that are significantly less happy when they are single. That's the reason that when a spouse passes away, something like 70% of men will be remarried within 2 years, because they simply cannot fathom doing it alone. Whereas women, we're fine.
Feminism in Korea is at another level, and they have channeled this energy of going against the patriarchy into simply just not partaking in their womanliness within the society, in some ways going as extreme as wanting to kill men. The level of feminism can be best represented by the 4P movement, not B as in the letter B, but the term P, which means to be against or not. First, starting with P hon, which means no marriage, P yone, which means no dating, P chulsan, no kids, and P sex, which means no sex. All of this is their direct response to not being want to be a part of contributing to or adhering to the patriarchy, their perception of wanting to not participate in essentially continuing down family values or traditional values, being a part of a relationship or any interaction with their male counterparts. What are your thoughts on this extreme version of feminism, which not necessarily is about equality, but more about holding themselves back from being a part of a traditional male-female based society? Let me know your thoughts.
No, because if you had told me that we could just get rid of them, I would just be an unrecognizably different person. There is a movement in South Korea, a small movement, a couple thousand women, called 4B. And remember, this is a country of 50 million and there's, let's say, 25-ish million women, but basically it's like the 4 no's, all of which begin with B in Korean.
No heterosexual marriage, no childbirth, no dating, and no heterosexual sex. Women in South Korea have a good reason to be rejecting men. Intimate partner violence affects around 30% of the world globally. In South Korea, that number is at least 41.5%.
It also has the largest gender pay gap in the world, which is actually unbelievable to me.
4B is an extension of South Korea's Escape the Corset movement from about 5 years ago, which brought up a lot of the same themes, but was mostly focused on beauty sickness and not adhering to aesthetic standards. And then it really took off through communities on the South Korean version of WhatsApp. That's important because in the past, traditional Korean feminism was considered a domain of the elite. But this sort of digital movement was for everyone.
And you know what's weird? I was just in Korea like a week and a half ago. I don't know if this is true across the board, but from what I've experienced, I noticed immediately that part of the culture involves serving men before women. So what do you think? Because I think it's giving Wonder Woman, it's giving Hannah Rosen, the End of Men, it's giving matriarchy. Let's go. 4B.
Have you guys heard of the 4B movement in South Korea? The women of South Korea's 4B movement aren't fighting the patriarchy. They're leaving it behind entirely. There's been a small but growing women's movement in South Korea in response to widespread cases of femicide, revenge, and dating violence, and a surge in spy cam crimes overwhelmingly committed by, you already knew. And the fact that all of these crimes mostly resulted in slaps on the wrist, like fines and suspended jail sentences, if they were prosecuted at all. And so protesters in South Korea went ham. And several women's movements were created in response, like the 4B movement. 4B is shorthand. Bihan is the refusal of a heterosexual marriage. Bichulsan is the refusal of childbirth. Biyonye, Korean is good, is saying no to dating. And bisexual is the rejection of heterosexual sexual relationships. Many in the 4B movement believe this is the only path with which Korean women today can live autonomously. In their view, Korean men are essentially beyond redemption. Where have I heard that before? And Korean culture on a whole is hopelessly patriarchal and often downright misogynistic. While 4B adherents may hope to change society, they are not trying to change the men whom they view as their oppressors. That's why I love this movement, because they said, you know what, we sick and tired of trying to talk to y'all and get y'all to wake up and get on the right side of history. So you know what? We just not gonna y'all. Ladies, what do you think about the 4B movement? Could you commit to Bihan, Bichulsan, Biyonye, and Bisexu? Get in the comments and let us know.
The rabbit hole I've been on upon learning that women, femmes in South Korea are on a full-blown birthing, marriage, child-rearing strike. Oh my gosh.
These icons, these legends are on a full-blown pregnancy boycott. Pregnancy, marriage, dating, boycott to combat misogyny and other structural issues in their society. So much so, it is statistically changing and altering the birthing rate in that country. It has the government shook. The government is so shook that they're over thinking about changing policies. The government is scrambling so much that they're offering more money to have a child. They're trying to come up with child having incentives. And the women are still like, nah, I'm good. What are we doing over here on this side of the world? What are we doing?
Stand up. What are we doing? We need to rise. Oh my God. I always thought, when we had these discussions about, just stop dating men and stop having their babies, it was like theory. It was arguments. But we have a praxis. We have a praxis, ladies. To be truthfully honest, here's the thing, right? Pregnancy and parenthood are just as affected by these terrible, problematic, harmful systems as anything else, especially as a black woman. Y'all don't care about black people with uteruses in our lives, let alone the children's lives. You do not have systems, communities set up to really support parenthood. Y'all have gotten laws and legislation to control our bodies and uteruses, and it's life-threatening. The black maternal rates are astronomical. Boycott pregnancy for real. Boycott pregnancy. This is my new favorite practice, and I'm not sorry about it. This is getting added to my campaign, right? All we need is a couple pterodactyl ancient birds to get on board, and it's over for y'all.
Please go down in the comment section and share it. So I'd love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. But I find this very interesting. But please keep it respectful. You're on the channel. We're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. Okay? So for me personally, I get where Korea women is coming from, but I really wish African women can jump on this, because we're in a society, or the society I live in is a society where it's a man's word. They still told me that thing yesterday or last week, it's a man's word. And when they commit all this other crime or don't treat women well, nobody holds them accountable to this. And like the other sister said, I guess Korean women, or I guess like as women, maybe we should start actually acting on it rather than just having just conversation over and over again and things are not really changing. I think maybe it's time for us to like, I'm not saying all men are bad or being married or having kids. Do whatever works for you. But when in a large scale of society, we see a lot of women, we're talking about how we're being treated unfair, especially as black women in the society we live in, then if we don't do something, how are they going to do something? I don't think they will do something to help us rather than we're doing something. And I feel like this is a very strong stand. And why I feel like this is a very strong stand, this is women putting themselves first and looking after themselves rather than go with society norm. Like the only male that talked about it, talking about the womenness. Women are refusing to play their role in the world. Like I just feel like they've put us women in that box where our role is just to do basically those things: date, marry, have kids. And women are like, you know what? We can do more for ourselves, and if we don't have those things, we can still be happy, and it's fine. And I'm not saying I shade anybody that wants to go into those things, do those things. Do you, be happy. That's my priority. Like, my goal is that whatever you do, always put yourself first and ask yourself, why are you really doing those things, or why are you committed to those things, and let it serve you. Okay, just live your best life. Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. What do you think about this? And please don't forget to share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversations. So go ahead and share this video. Please give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting your girl. With that all said, guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.